All right, we're down here at PCT Days. Zpacks, you guys know Matt. I just actually got off the trail with Matt. We were out in Scotland doing the TGO. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Zpacks and show you some gear and anything new.
Yeah, so I mean, the major new thing that we've had this year is our dogs trying to kill us. The major new thing we had this year is we introduced a whole new women's clothing line. We released a rain jacket, women's rain pants, women's wind shells. And that's been a pretty big success. Not a lot of people in the ultralight community in terms of clothing providers really have been catering to the women. And if you've been following some of the hiker surveys and seeing the demographic makeup of who the thru hikers are, you can see that women are like almost making up as much as 50%, like in the high 40s now at this point. And so the fact that nobody was like offering them clothing options, we thought it was kind of a disservice to the community. So we decided to get together, and we had a lady who's been designing clothes for over 50 years. She's worked in theaters doing costumes for a long time. So we had her, design the patterns for a women's line, and we came out with that earlier this year, and it's been a pretty big success.
Anything from your shelters? I know I just picked up the Hexmid Solo Tarp with storm doors.
Yeah, so there has been a little bit of a demand for some of our older shelter lines with the Hexmid. So we had our Hexmid Pocket Tarp. We added storm doors to it as an option, which essentially made it the Hexmid Solo Tarp from back in the day. That's been a really big seller. Actually, it's been moving pretty quick. Somebody's actually adding line to it right next to me right now.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I literally just slept in it for the first night in the Timberline last night. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great if you don't have to worry about bugs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we did just, probably by the time you see this, it might be gone, but we did do a limited re-release of 100 Hexmid Solo tents in honor of Joe's 10-year anniversary of doing the CDT. It's the first DCF tent we ever made and prototyped and tested. He took it out with him in 2009 on the CDT, so it's the 10-year anniversary of that. So we
only 100, huh?
Only 100. We did a retro release. It's got the old logo on it and everything.
Oh, sweet.
So if you see this and you want one, you might check out the website. There might be a couple left. We've already sold more than half in a few days, so
wow,
we're pretty excited about that.
I've been seeing a lot of triplexes on the trail these days. Really last year, Matt. I guess looking at, what do you think from going from a duplex, triplex, a couple wanting to hike? What direction should they go?
I think you're seeing a couple things there. One, the duplex is a great tent for two people, two average size people. So that being said, you still got to really like each other if you're going to be going on a hike of 10 days or more, right? I mean, it's close quarters and there's not a ton of extra space, but it's totally doable, right? But I think what you see happening is a lot more people also hiking with their dogs. A lot of people are taking their kids with them, and so this is a great tent for two people and a dog, or two people and a small kid, or two people who are taller. I'm 6'2", my wife's 5'9". It'd be a little tight for both of us to sleep in a tent all day. I mean, all night. Multiple nights in a row. So if I was going to go on like a long distance hike with my wife, I'd probably go with the triplex as well for that extra space. So I think that's kind of what you're seeing, the mix of a lot more people hiking with their dogs, a lot more people bringing their kids out into the wilderness like I do. My daughter's hikes a ton. And, people who are a little bit taller having a little more space.
What's the specs difference between the duplex and the triplex?
I think in the standard material, it's a 3-ounce difference in weight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
No, and it's a ton extra space. You're going from 45 inches wide on the floor to 60 inches wide, which is, you can get 3 20-inch sleeping pads in that tent, or if you got if two people, you got 2 25-inch pads, you still got 10 inches left over, so it's plenty of space, yeah.
Awesome. Last question. What pack are you wearing these days? What's on your back?
I've been rocking the Nero for over a year now. It's my base weight's just so low. I'm right around 8 pounds, and in Scotland I didn't even fill it up, and I had brought extra clothes for the wet and for the cold, and I still didn't have an issue even with like a 4-day carry of food. So that's the good thing, is when you keep getting everything lighter and smaller, you don't need as much room. I could probably rock a 35 or 32 liter pack right now, which may be an excuse to try to develop one of those sooner rather than later. Yeah.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
That's what our company's always been based around. We're hikers, and we need to make gear that works for us. And as we evolve as hikers and as our gear pares down, sometimes we have to come up with new gear because we need new gear for us, right?
Sweet, awesome. I'm rocking the same thing. I've had the Nero the last, I think, 2 years. Whenever you guys really released it.
You,
Is that 2 years
it
ago?
for a while. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Still having it. Love it.
Awesome.
All right, well, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll see you on the trail.
See ya.